All right. So I got to give Kevin a little intro at the very beginning. I explained how I first met him at where he paid to come to one of my classes years ago. Then he volunteered at another event. Then he paid to come to the Rockstars event, volunteering, all sorts of stuff. And when I actually posted on Instagram last month, who should be speaking here? A bunch of people said Kevin should be speaking. A bunch of people texted me and said they wanted Kevin speaking. A bunch of people posted on there they wanted Kevin speaking. The person who was most surprised by all that was Kevin. So Kevin, Shoun, come on up. Let's give him a big round of applause. All right.
Okay. Dude, this is really high.
I know.
I feel like Simba or something. Anyways, how are y'all doing? The newbies here, please raise their hands, please. Okay, awesome. Thank y'all for being here. I see some Temple Belton faces. Yeah, he called me up. Was like, Kev, they want to hear from you. I said, okay, cool. What do they want to hear? He's like, I don't know. What do you want to talk about? I said, I don't know. He said, okay, we need you to talk about this. I said, okay, that's what we're going to talk about. So, I will lead with, I've talked to a lot of really successful people in this industry, and at every level, they all kind of say the same thing. I'm still figuring it out, right? There's no success secret button, or if I get this CRM, I'm going to crush it. It's just do the work and be willing to fail as you do the work, because you will fail. And like in the military, as long as you didn't lose a life, limb, or eyesight, you can kind of recover. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind as you move forward in your business, and don't spend too much time thinking and dwelling on what if I should do this or do that. Just stop getting ready to get ready and just start moving forward. Okay. All right. So I'm Kevin Shoun. Did I turn it off? Okay. So this is what we're going to be talking about, right? So success isn't accidental. I think that's a true statement. I've heard that a lot of times, is like, you have to decide what you want success to be. And I use air quotes because my success, my definition, may not be yours, right? And I think that's beautiful. Like, there's agents who are very happy doing 12 deals a year, and they are very present. It's funding their vacations, and they are Gucci, right? And they are happy, which is really cool. And there's agents that want to do 1,000 deals a year, and they are pursuing that relentlessly. And that is a beautiful thing as well. So in this industry, I've seen a lot of people compare and contrast, and, well, I'll be happy if I do this, or, man, define what you see success as, and then rock with it. Does that make sense? Okay. Built on strong CRM. Strong is a loose term. You'll see here in a few slides. I've been licensed for 5 years. The vast majority, I was a part-time agent. I was active duty military, and I think a lot of people shun the part-time agent. And I'm kind of living proof that I was outperforming many full-time agents, right? So what does that say about their work ethic? You know what I'm saying? So don't let anybody define who you are or what you can be or can't be because you're not a full-time agent. Bills still have to get paid. 86% of agents sold 4 houses or less last year. Did y'all know that? It was like 71 sold 0. And then like the math to where basically 86% sold 4 or less. Anyways, clarity, momentum, results. So I like to use some military reference points, like land navigation. Has anybody ever walked through the forest? Anyone? Right? Maybe, kind of, sort of. Probably not many of you. But in the Army, they give you a map and a compass, and you got to orient the map, right? North, south, east, west. Get your compass, and you plot your points, right? And your point doesn't need to be, okay, I'm going right there, right? You just, hey, look, I'm going in that direction, general direction. As long as you're moving forward in that general direction with some clarity, you will get closer to that point you're aiming for. Does that make sense? It doesn't need to be perfect. Agenda, we're going to talk about CRM systems. Follow-up is a big part of it. I like using FU, right? I don't know. I like using the F word. Anyways, how it started versus how it's going, tactical. Ultimately, again, there's no secret. Just do what works for you. Do what works for you. Don't try to copy someone else, because it's not going to feel authentic and genuine. You're trying to be somebody you're not. Leverage their tools, leverage their experience, but make it your version. All right. So background, I launched my business in 2020. I was stationed at Fort Rucker, Alabama. I was a first sergeant in the United States Army. If you don't know, that's like a senior enlisted advisor. I was working a lot, right? So I was waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was going to PT 5 to 6, trying to, encourage the troops. So, come on, troop, let's go, run faster, be better. And then from, 6 to 9, I would go home, shower, change, go to work, do the Army thing. My lunch breaks were where I did real estate as long as I had time, right? And there wasn't any pressing Army issues. I would close my door. I would be selfish for the first time in my career, close my door, right? It's weird. I had the door the whole time, but it always stayed open. And I was always putting out fires that someone else could put out for me most of the time, right? Same thing in real estate business. Anyways, had a very successful first year in, sold 19 houses, working lunchtime and evenings and weekends. It was brutal, right? Like December came around, and thank you, whoever said nice. December came around, we took a family vacation to Disney World. I was like, babe, take my phone. I don't want nothing to do with this thing. Like, cause I had two of them. I had the Army Batman phone and then the real estate phone, right? So anyways, I retired in 2024. A little bit of identity crisis, if I'm being honest, right? Cause like I'm leaving a career for 20 years that was kind of like my identity in a way. And now I'm doing this whole new thing, trying to figure out what am I doing? What's my purpose? All that thing. So thankfully I started early, and I recommend all of you just start, right? Like kind of what I led with, just start, because you'll get those reps in and you build those muscle memories, which led to a breakthrough year in 2025, my first full-time year in real estate. Sold 43 units, 20 million in volume, and it's incredible, right? And all of that, I was like feeling sorry for myself. Like, you could do better, right? And then my friend sent me a really cool book that she didn't have to send me, right? It's called The Gap in the Game. And it resonated with me tremendously because I spent a lot of my life in the gap, right? I could have done more. I should have done more. I need to be better. Life traumas, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's there. And I'm willing to bet some of you have it as well. I would encourage you to spend equal or greater to time in the game. How far have you come? How blessed are we today to be in this room, to be alive, to share conversations, right? So, I got there and I was like, I can do better, but it was weird because I still needed to remind myself, like, dude, this is incredible. Celebrate your wins. So I'm not here to talk about CRMs. I'm not here to talk about that, but I do want to share that you please celebrate your wins. Okay. Surpassed 50 million total sales volume. Again, most of that was part-time agent, right? Nights and weekends. And then my buddy, who's a broker at Remax, I'm trying to get him to come to a more current brokerage, but he's stuck in the past in his own ways. But he hit me. I was like, dude, did you realize you're like number 15 out of all these agents? I was like, dude, I have no idea. Where's this list? I want to see it. So he printed it off. He came to my office. But again, I wasn't focused on any of that. I was just head down, do the work, right? Show up, start, do the work. And then again, it's built on discipline relationships. I feel like everything is built on relationships. It's who you talk to, who you work with, all these things that we probably take for granted. It's those relationships that really matter and what helped me grow my business. All right, so this is how it started. You see how chaotic this is? I have missing, misspelled, like all of this. This was my CRM. Please don't take a photo of this because there's like real information here. But I wanted to be very transparent, right? This was not a secret bullet. This was a half-assed CRM that worked good enough for me to close a sizable amount of business, mostly as a part-time agent, right? And there was really no rhyme or reason. In my head, I was like, yellow's people who's pretty ready to do business, right? That orange was like, I haven't talked to them. What are they doing? And then the green and below was like, I don't even know what it is. It's been a while. Follow up, whatever. Very chaotic, right? There's nothing sexy about this, but it worked. So kind of going back to my point, don't wait for the perfect CRM. Just start where you're at and with what you have and be willing to fail moving forward, okay? Are you guys impressed by that? I don't know. All right. Key points. So look, I'm going to say this a lot. I don't know why these got messed up, but again, just start. There's a quote, I'm going to butcher a little bit, but a good plan violently executed today is far better than a perfect plan executed next week. And so many of us are just routinely trying to have the perfect plan and this and that. Well, if I do this, then I'll do that. Like, no, shut up. Get out of your own way and just do the thing. Pick up the phone and call people. But I don't know the script, Kevin. It doesn't need to be a script. Just genuinely care about the people you're talking about and how can I help this person out? Like, that's what you need to do. Like, I don't even have a script most of the time. I just read a few books. What is it? Exactly What to Say for Real Estate Agents. Phenomenal book. To be fair, I don't read it. I listen to it. But a lot of those things I pick up. And when I have conversations, I'm like, okay, I'm funneling this conversation to help them sell, rent, or maybe someday I'll do business with them. So does that make sense? Okay. Systems. Again, my system was pretty chaotic, but I had a system, right? And then just growth. So the better tools you have, the more it'll allow you to scale, right? We talk about the AI stuff and we'll get to what I'm doing now. But again, transparently, a lot of it, I'm still figuring it out. Kind of going back to what I said in the beginning, right? As you elevate, there's this new thing. It's kind of going up staircase. I saw this chart, right? It's you go up staircase, you're crushing it, and then it's like, okay, now I got to go up the staircase again. How do I do this? You go up. Now you're running again, trying to figure it out. It's just constant evolution of growth and progress, right? So there's a few like takeaways that I wanted to be bold. Is progress comes from taking action, not waiting for the perfect CRM or system. The goal isn't perfection. It's staying organized enough to keep moving forward. And the best way to learn what you need to do is by doing the work first, right? So an analogy comes to mind is, when a baby is learning to walk, right? So for example, all of these adults, let's say there's a little baby across the stage and learns to walk for the first time. What's the most normal reaction you guys would anticipate? They might fall, but if they start walking, what are y'all going to do? Celebrate them, right? Encourage them. But there becomes this like, I don't know if it's an age or society or whatever, where we stop encouraging people as they fall, right? Where there's a lot of people talking shit. Oh, look at them. Can you believe them? They tried that business and they failed, right? Don't worry about those people. Those people are going to be very discontent in their life, and that's okay. Surround yourself by people who are going to encourage you through those falls and continue to, encourage you to get back up and keep going, right? Does that make sense? Okay. And that's what this room is for the most, that's why I keep coming back. It says rooms like this continue to encourage and celebrate the wins of, hey, I sold my first house, or hey, I sold my 1 millionth house. Like, holy cow, it's incredible. All of it's incredible. Celebrate the wins. Okay. Moving on. Hold up. Yeah. My very unimpressive CRM got me to a pretty successful business, right? Which has led me to this, right? This is where I'm growing in my business. I'm leveraging these 3 things. Follow Boss. I'm not, saying they're the best, but it's what I'm using now. And so far, it's been pretty good to me. Key technology. I was talking to someone else in the back about how we're not organized. And like, I'm not a naturally organized individual, but key technologies is super organized. And they combined with Follow Boss, I had to pay them like $1,000. They went in, they set up all of these automations that are really cool, right? And allows me to, in a very, I would say, genuine way, connect with the people in my world. For example, it got set up, and like 2 weeks later, I had like 8 more 5-star reviews. I was like, where'd that come from? And all these emails are coming in like, hey, Kev, thanks for reaching out. I'm like, what is happening? Like, I don't know what they're talking about. Like, well, the CRM is doing its job, right? So that's been cool. And then Real Scout is another tech stack that is basically, in my opinion, it's a more personalized approach to setting up people on home search options or home evaluations. And I have emails going out, Follow Boss for like, hey, hope life is well. Here's our monthly newsletter. Honestly, the open rates aren't the best. So that means I need to probably improve it. But the open rates on Real Scout is astronomical. So there's a laser here somewhere. So this dude, 78%, I think that is, open rate. And these are all about them. So what I've learned is if I send them stuff about me, no one cares, right? Oh yeah, he's owning the house. Awesome. Right? Blah, 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 blah. So I need to improve my newsletter, or maybe just stop altogether. We'll see. But they really appreciate the value about their property. And this is cool because it's free at my brokerage. And then this one, this is a Follow Boss thing. It tells me what to do. Hey, dude, call this person, call this person, call this person. And again, I'm picking up the phone to just have genuine, real conversations, not just relying solely on AI. What to do now? Look, just pick a CRM. Very simple, right? Pick one, make one. It doesn't matter what it is. Just pick something that you can use on a semi-consistent basis that will encourage you to move forward, move the needle, close a deal, provide value and service to the people that you want to do business with. Okay. Set up implementation. You don't even have to set it up. You can leverage it to someone else like I did. Okay. But if you're really tech savvy, and I'm sure there's a few of you in here, then do it. Right. But what are you waiting for? And then follow up. The most important thing, right? What is it saying? Fortunes in the follow up. Right. So be willing to have those conversations. And I struggle too, Nicole, I think she's not in here. Like, hey, how's your cat doing? All right. Like, I mean, I get it. Okay. But also just ask what's new. Like, be interested in the people that want to do business with you, or maybe they just are friends. I know it's kind of weird, right? Like, you have friends that you're not doing business with, but you talk to them enough, they will become clients at some point, but just have genuine real conversation. There's a lot of cool things that it does. It sends out text messages. It records phone calls. I don't pay for that yet, but I call enough in my office, and I have enough people in my office who are like, Kevin, I would have not said that. You know what I mean? They're kind of like coaching me along the way, but it does have some really cool tools. And again, look, the most important thing is just right here. Just the most important step, right? Is just taking action. Take that first step with whatever it is you're working towards. Keep moving. Closing thoughts. Look, I've been very successful in my own regard, and I've been very blessed in my own regard. And I think a lot of that is just because I'm willing to look stupid sometimes. I'm willing to be not the smartest person in the room. I'm willing to volunteer and do all the things that I think a lot of people aren't willing to do for whatever reason, right? If you can identify, or if you can't identify, have some like interpersonal dialogue and some real conversations. Go to counseling, talk to AI. You know what I'm saying? And like, hey, dude, how come I'm so afraid to get on camera? I don't know, because whatever it is. The reality is your face is your face, your voice is your voice. Are you thinking about it right now? No, right? Like you're living your life just like a normal human being. So when you do that social media reel, talk to that camera like it's your friend, like you're Zooming a friend of yours. It takes all of the nerves out of it, okay? I don't know what that got to do with this, but anyways, predictable, sustainable business is built conversation at a time, right? It's Rome wasn't built in a day. All of these like catchphrases you've heard your whole life. You are the company you keep. My mom told me that my whole life. When I was a kid, I was like, Mom, you know what I'm talking about? And now I'm an adult. I'm like, weird. My financial benefits, my financial situation is much better now that I'm hanging out with smart financial people. You know what I mean? So be aware of who you're surrounding. One thing I will tell you, everybody asks me, Kev, what'd you do? What'd you do? Bro, I just stopped hanging around with people who were like, oh, the market's terrible. What am I going to do? Like, no, bro, that's you. That's your reality, and that's the reality you're painting. But the reality is people are dying, getting divorced, getting job promotions, graduating. A lot of life events are happening, and people are moving every day. So are you going to be the agent that they work with? Or are you going to be like, oh, maybe next year. This is a bad year. Like, don't hang around those people if you have a bigger goal for yourself. Make sense? And then, I saw this on the way down. I was like, you idiot. If I can go from, okay, call myself out here. Again, it's not perfect. Just take action. If I can go from a part-time agent, my first year full-time, to a top producer, like, so can you. And I didn't do anything super sexy or secretive. I just worked hard. I applied what worked for me, and I tried to add value to the people I get to do business with. That's it. Like, it's very simple. We are overthinking our life, our businesses way too often. Just do the simple things as best you can and try to genuinely care about people and watch how your business grows. And that's it. Thank y'all so much.
All right. One of the things you said that I love, now you're going to stay way taller than me for a minute. One of the things you said that I love that I caught there at the end, that was like that moment that like made so much sense. Like, your face is your face, your voice is your voice. Like, when you're having a conversation with people right now, we're not thinking like, does my voice sound like that? Or does my face look like that? Right. So like, whatever the video is the way we carry ourselves throughout the world all the time. And so maybe it's just that simple reminder, like, that video is just me, whether I like it or not, whether it makes me, it's always weird to see ourselves. But like, when we're having these conversations, we're not asking ourselves about that, and people aren't thinking about it. And so when we're on camera like that, I think that could be a thing that you tell yourself right before you record that video. That's on there. All right. So Kevin, obviously it's been so cool to see your journey the last few years. And so your first full-time year in real estate, how many transactions did you do?
43.
43. What was your revenue, gross revenue?
20 million.
20 million. Right. So like first year, So like, even though, and that's why we also say like agents with just a few years, can have something that an agent with 10 or 20 years, we can teach each other with what's going on through that. So any questions for Kevin? And how we do questions here is we do a couple things, right? So first you're going to say your name and where you are. Before you ask a question, you need to say something like, so what stuck out to me that I just loved was that your face is your face, your voice is your voice. So before you ask a question, first you're going to say something that was awesome, something that you liked, something that really stuck out to you. The other reason we do that is it like re-prompts to somebody else and goes like, oh yeah, that was good. Those are the things, like re-add in your notes. Those are the things. So sometimes by restating it, you're helping re-solidify it for other people. So first, what we got, so we have a question with Sarah in the back. We have John in the front. So let's start with John. I'll run out and do Sarah.
Yeah, thank you, man. That was great. Super proud of you. Yeah, one of your like bold lines was systems help, but they're not magic. And I think what you've kind of realized in your business was that there isn't a secret key. It's just doing the work. So like, could you let's do a snapshot of what your average day looks like, after you work out, right? Like we all know you do your push-ups and but what's your average day look like? You're just sexy, bro. You're sexy. Yeah. What's your average day look like for Kevin?
I mean, average and what I want are not always the same. Again, being honest. But I wake up at 4:30, go to the gym, 5 to 6. Why? Because I want to be present with my kids as they're getting ready for school. So I would much rather sleep in, but that's important to me, right? And then I get dressed, I go to the office around 8:30, right? There's a little Zoom call I attend most mornings. It just talks about wins, market updates, kind of like, masterminding, short level condensed version. Anything new that might have happened in real estate, right? And then Mondays, I usually start the day with cold calling, right? Circles, prospecting, FISBOs, expireds, whatever. And I do that for a little bit. And then I try to right? Because it's not perfect every day, right? And then the afternoon, ideally, is I'm just like doing whatever I want, right? If I work really hard in the morning, the afternoon, I kind of do whatever I want, okay? And then the next day, it's ideally in a perfect world, it's calling my sphere, SOI. Hey, what's up, dude? How's life? How the kids, mom, the kitty, all the things, right? And that's not just calls. It's emails, it's texts, it's all the things. In my opinion, a hack to communicate with people in your world, which might be uncomfortable, is you just take your phone, right? And then you open up the camera and you put on video and you turn around and you just like, hey, what's up, Susie? I'm over here at this Real Estate Rockstars event. I hope you're doing extremely well. I just thought about you because someone else said something about a cat and it reminded you and your cat. I just hope you're doing well, right? Some bullshit like that, right? I don't mean to be disingenuous, but don't overthink it, right? If there's legitimately a life event that happened, talk to them, right? And then I'm not spending 27 minutes on a phone call, but it's a more personalized approach to, hey, I saw you had a baby, right? And then ideally Thursdays, Fridays is when I'm going to listing appointments and showings, right? In a perfect world. I try to funnel the people I get to do business with to like, hey, does Tuesday or Thursday work better for you? Does afternoons or evenings work better for you? That way I kind of get to direct my time a little bit, but give them options. Does that make sense? Okay.
So I just want to say I was getting chills listening to you because you're just like, I remember when you first started and you came here and like to see now you're doing 50 million or whatever that was, like that's insane. Like I'm just so proud of you, and like you've put in the work and we've all seen it and followed you. So I'm just so proud of you. How are you following up with people? So all those 43 deals that you did that first year, how are you following up and loving on those people and rewarding them and all that stuff?
I could do better. If I'm being honest. A lot of it is just calling, texting. I try to leverage my personal social media as best as possible to drip, hey, remember me, right? And then again, if something comes up, that reminds me of that client, I try to, like, for example, something I've done recently, like, hey, blah, 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 blah. I would really appreciate a 5-star review for you in my business because, that's how I'm growing my business, is by servicing people at a high level and letting them tell everybody in the world about me, right? Also, by the way, I know you don't need to go on a date night, but if you do, I recommend these 2 places. So I'm asking for something, but I'm also like, hey, check out these really cool restaurants in Temple or Salado or whatever. And they've all like, absolutely, dude, I should have got to the 5-star review sooner. Thank you so much for the date night. And I try to send both of them to the wife and the husband, or, spouse, because then it kind of guilts one of them to go on the date night and makes it a fun event. And they're usually pretty thankful for me, even though I'm asking for something sometimes, right? So there's a way to structure it where you can ask for something and also add value.
All right. Big round of applause for Kevin.
Thank you so much.